Hello, hi esoterica viewers. Today I'm going to be doing a reading for the second week of April. I'll be using Forest of Enchantment Tarot by Lunaea Weatherstone, illustrated by Meraylah Allwood. I set the intention for clarity for the second week of April 2026. I need 7 cards. Ooh. Cards. Okay, let's see what we got. If you're new to my channel, I always read the definitions given by the author and sometimes the artist as they create a new version of the tarot. Just because you see cards upright or reversed, know that you can pull the energy from both the positive and negative sides. It's just about how you're thinking and how you're feeling, and you can always pull the more positive energy. This is the potential energy of this second week of April, and although this could be April 8th, sometimes energy comes in fast or slow, or sometimes it just lingers. So you might want to check the previous week's video to see if there's any lingering energy for you. Also, as I'm talking, I will have additional information on the screen about each of these cards in their positive and negative energies and what they potentially mean. These readings, and it's for you and me and everyone, this is going to affect all areas of our life, not just your love life, your career, your friendships, your travel. It's going to affect everyone else around you, and how we all are challenged by the energy is always how we grow and how we experience the life that we want to live. These are just lenses and like filters to experience the energy that's coming our way. So let's begin with the potential energy for April 8th, and it is the Two of Boons. A villager has been gathering firewood in the forest and is now wending his way home. The heavy baskets make a precarious burden, so keeping his balance on the narrow bridge should command his full attention. But his mind is elsewhere, not fully present with his task. It would be all too easy to fall off the bridge and smash on the rocks below. Not a pleasant prospect, even before you factor in the ogre. Wait. The ogre? An ogre is hiding under the bridge. This is a ferocious cannibal, and he would make quick work of the man if he fell. This card is a warning to not take on more than you can safely balance and attend to. There is something called the lazy man's load, where a person piles on the cargo to avoid having to make a second trip. This rarely ends well. Work sensibly and give your full attention to your endeavor, or all could be lost. There are hidden influences just waiting for you to slip up. Meaning at a glance. Balance, steady attention, agility, taking care of your assets. A closer look. Ogres tend to blend into their surroundings, so they aren't always easy to spot. Vigilance is called for. If possible, peek under all the bridges before crossing. That's really cute. I love this deck because when I read the definitions, it sounds like a story, like a fairy tale. This is probably one of my favorite decks. Let's continue with the next energy, the Seeker of Boons. The Seeker of Boons has set out on a treasure hunt to a part of the forest where, rumor has it, precious gemstones can be found. She takes her time, searching carefully and methodically. Her quests are well planned, and she always wears her trusty belt of tools and good stout boots. The ground here is thick with gnarled roots, so she needs to move slowly, but that's what she likes best anyway. If this card doesn't represent a particular person, it can mean a need to slow down and pay attention to details, lest you miss something important. It can also offer reassurance that even though a desired outcome hasn't arrived yet, you're on the right track. Character traits: good humor, steadiness, dependability, practical and patient. Earthy, adventurous in a modest way. Shadow traits: a warrior, takes on too much, hard to roust out of habits, can be a bit plodding. In the next potential energy, it is the Council of Animals. This is a major arcana card. This would be the Judgment card in traditional tarot. The Council of Animals. A journey through the forest can have profound meaning or be utterly meaningless, depending on what you bring to it. Intentions count as much as actions. Devious successes are far worse than errors made in innocence. The Council of Animals convenes at fateful turning points to evaluate the traveler's progress and rule in judgment for the future. Each council animal has its own unique wisdom, insight, and perspective. Each is authentically itself, and it expects you to be, too. Don't ever think that you can fool the council or yourself. It is time for a reckoning. When you are called before the Council of Animals, it is a sign that you are ready to face some tough truths. Epiphanies are possible. You may begin to see a new purpose for your life. At the very least, you will come to know yourself better, toady warts and all. Meaning at a glance: judgment, assessment, self-awareness, forgiveness, atonement, enlightenment. A closer look. There are 12 animals on the council, and they change every 12th moon to allow for different points of view. When fish are on the council, the meetings take place at the sacred lake. Really beautiful. I love this as a reimagined version of the Judgment card in this Enchanted Forest. Very beautiful. The next energy, Child of Boons. The lost and hungry Child of Boons can't believe his luck when he comes upon a house made of gingerbread. There doesn't seem to be anyone around to forbid him, but still, he hesitates before breaking off a piece. He tries to remember what he's been taught about the proper procedure for magic cottages. The practical thing would seem to be to stay alive while awaiting rescue. So, does that mean eat or not eat? If this card does not represent a particular person, it can mean a time of study, an impetuous investment, or a sign that it is time to pay more attention to material security and prosperity. Character traits: considerate, cautious, obedient, and well-mannered. Quiet, bashful, wants to help, but must be supervised. Shadow traits: inexperience in earthly practicalities, can't manage money, expects others to care for him, doesn't always tell the truth. Wow. This is really interesting because this is now the 4th card in this reading that is telling us to be aware, be cognizant, pay attention to our surroundings, pay attention to the details. I don't know what's happening in the second week of April, but that message keeps repeating itself. Let's continue with the next energy coming in, the 5 of Challenges. When you come upon a giant, it is safe to assume that he is not interested in anything you have to say, so save your breath for running. There are friendly giants, but they are rare in the general giant population, as are giants with a sense of humor. This giant isn't comical at all, nor is he a stereotypically stupid bumbler. He's dangerous, not because he's evil, but because he's big. He also has a short temper, and he's giving you one chance to get out of his space before he deals with you. The giant signifies a situation in your life where you might be overestimating your chances against an opponent. Sometimes being quicker in an argument just doesn't work because the other will not or cannot engage in that way. Do not equate slowness with stupidity, and don't equate stupidity with harmlessness. Stay on the alert until you know who and what you are dealing with. Meaning at a glance: overwhelming odds, a fight you can't win. Choose your battles and live to fight another day. A closer look. See the bones in his beard? Don't add yours to his collection. Ooh. So definitely pay attention because something big might be a challenge in the future, and you want to be as prepared and careful as possible to avoid whatever calamity could happen with dealing with this giant of an issue. The next energy, 9 of Spells. Witches have no fear of the nighttime forest. That doesn't mean there is nothing fearful there. Wild beasts and creatures, both earthly and unearthly, roam the woods at night. Nevertheless, this witch has come to her sacred spot to perform a spell at the dark of the moon. Shining eyes and vague shapes move in the shadows. Maybe they are harmless, maybe not. They could even be other witches intent on menacing her. It wouldn't be the first time. She draws a protective circle of light around herself, which keeps any dangers at bay. Within this warding circle, she can summon all her powers to take command of the situation. This card signifies that you have everything you need to accomplish your intention. You have the skills, the experience, the maturity, and most of all, the will to make it happen. No one can stand in the way of your success now. Mark out your territory. It's time to bring forth your full potential of power. Meaning at a glance, mastery of inner gifts, mature power, defense against the dark, a closer look. The witch doesn't need a wand or any other tool to cast her circle. Her magic is within her. Ooh, I really like that. We always do have all of the talent, the skill, the power, the will to create any reality that we wish. It really is just a decision. I feel like whatever this was might have tripped her up and why she might have appeared reversed, meaning less confident in yourself to win or to succeed or to go on. But again, just because cards are upright or reversed, you can always pull the more positive version. Like this guy could be reversed. You can pull the energy of having it all together and confident here, and then able to continue to manifest your dreams. The next energy, 6 of Boons. Something made this woman run from her home, something fearful enough to send her fleeing into the frosty forest in her bare feet. In her panic, she has lost her way, and a light snow is obliterating any trace of her torturous footprints. There is no way to go back, even if she wanted to, and no path forward that she can see. The night is drawing in, not knowing if she will wake again, and not caring very much either way. She curls up in the cold earth and surrenders to exhaustion and despair. A quiet patter of paws on snow sifts into her dreams, and soft warmth surrounds her. Seeing her dire need, a colony of rabbits blankets her with love. There will still be trials to overcome when she awakes, but she will make it through the night. There is kindness to be found even in the bleakest situation. The world is full of gentle, furry creatures with big eyes who want to help and comfort you. Be ready to receive unexpected assistance and selfless care. Your situation is about to get softer, meaning at a glance, help graciously offered and gracefully accepted, generosity, benevolence, caritas. A closer look. Rabbits have a reputation for shyness, but they will overcome it when necessary. Wow, I really love this card. What a beautiful message. There is a lot of Pentacles energy. These boon cards, they're called boons in this deck. And that's always practical matters, your prosperity, protection, healing, your general well-being. So that's absolutely coming up. This 5 of Challenges is really the 5 of Swords, and swords are really just your thoughts. So this giant doesn't have to be this big unless you imagine it to be. So whatever the situation is, it's just a shift in your thoughts. It's not really as big a situation unless you decide it is. I definitely feel like a oracle card would be helpful. I'll be using one from Forest Spirit's oracle card. Set the intention for clarity for this reading for the second week of April. Just one card. We got 2 cards. Earth Elemental. Strength. Stay rooted and draw upon the earth's wisdom to navigate the challenges in your life. That's definitely helpful. And then Unicorn Spirit. Wishcraft. Use your imagination as you wield your own magic and make your dreams come true. Wow, I like that energy supports this one. And I think this was absolutely perfect. We have the strength to escape from any situation, and we have the strength to succeed in all of these areas. And you have everything within you, your own inner magic, to create any reality you want and decide that this challenge, whatever it is, it's not as big as your worst fears. Decide that this is no big deal and tap back in to your inner strength, your inner magic to create a better version and escape and be open and willing to receive support and help from others as you go forward in your journey. Wow, this was big. I will have a lovely affirmation that you can use this week to get you through all of this. Thank you so much for liking, for subscribing, and I wish you all so many blessings. May the energy of this week meet you where you are. I look forward to seeing you again in my next video. Until then, bye for now.